Today is National Paranormal Day, and if you wanted a reason to take part, you can attend a paranormal investigation on board one of the world's most haunted locations, the Queen Mary in Long Beach. We're joined by the Gray Ghost Project resident investigator, Rebecca Knight, who is here with more. I had no idea there was a paranormal day.
Yeah.
And here we are.
Pretty much everything has a day, but it's still pretty special.
Now, do you think it was more toward Halloween? But it's so fascinating to learn that we could participate in this right in our own backyard.
Yeah, it's a really nice way to kind of also have the halfway to Halloween.
Yeah. So what can guests experience if they're aboard the Queen Mary and want to participate?
We do a 3-hour hands-on paranormal investigation. So we rely on everybody who comes to participate for it to be hands-on. That also helps add to our data, because if they don't know anything that we kind of already know has happened previously, that adds that scientific approach if they bring something into the investigation that we have had happen previously. So we let them utilize these different pieces of equipment. One of our most hands-on ways of participating is utilizing a spirit box and a method called the Estes method that was developed in Estes Park, Colorado at the Stanley Hotel.
Oh, interesting.
By that former residential paranormal team. But guests are blindfolded and wearing noise isolating headphones. So now they're kind of in this sensory deprivation state to where they're hoping that we can hear somebody. Yes. So it's a radio scanner. And we're hoping that through that, the little snippets of those words that come through in between the skipping of the stations of that radio scanner, we're hoping that those are words that somebody is saying to us that we can't hear or see directly in the space. So now this person who's listening to this box gets to speak for the ghost in a way, and we play a little game of telephone.
Oh, that's so interesting. You know, people often, you know, in their own home could, like, a radio comes on or a light switch comes on. How do you get people that don't really want to participate in this because they're nervous about it?
Yeah, and I think they end up walking away really appreciating how skeptical I approach it. It's not skeptical that I don't believe in ghosts. I definitely do, but it's that, you know, like these guys, for example, these are K2 meters. They're very prone to false positives, which is why people don't like their implementation in paranormal investigating. So I like having 6 of them with us. Some of them are held by the guests in our group. Some of them are placed up in a spot that we're allowing a ghost to be able to hopefully handle and participate. A lot of things in this studio would set these guys off, you know, giving us that false positive. They generally will flicker when they sense some sort of EMF.
Interesting.
But we're hoping that when we ask somebody to touch it, that so long as they're holding onto it, it makes a very solid rainbow to red. And to see that happen in someone's hand, sometimes you just can't explain it, especially with the timing of it. So by having 6 of them, we can kind of debunk some of the false positives. But we generally have those skeptics walk away going, you know what? I'm a little curious now.
Yeah, right. Want to dive in a little bit more.
Yes.
You do take a very scientific approach. Why is that so important to you?
You know, a lot of the paranormal world gets sensationalized. There's a lot of really good TV out there, but a lot of times you see those viewers commenting about where they feel duped, and I don't like that aspect. I really think it's more compelling. I think people that, whether you're skeptical or not, you're hoping to have proof or to have that genuine interaction. And only if it is genuine and done honestly does that make that more compelling and more meaningful when it does happen. It means it happens few and far between, but it does happen. So it's really important to kind of be able to have that data to line it up to be like, I have no other explanation than ghost.
Right. So can you tell us about an experience or two you've had aboard the Queen Mary?
There's so many, but we find music to be really compelling on the ship. There's always been this connection with music. Very early on when we reinstated the investigations, when returning from the COVID shutdown, we were in the isolation ward and I was like, hey, I'm not sure if we're talking to somebody. Can you tell me your favorite song? And the person who's deaf and blind to the question, listening through the spirit box, the next thing they said was Dominic. When I was going through my evidence review, you know, I apologized on the spot going, if that's your answer, I'm sorry, I don't know the song. I was surprised to find that there is a song,
really,
Dominique, by the singing nun, which was very popular in the 1960s, the last few years that she did Voyage, very popular worldwide, but also in France. And that makes sense that that could have potentially been someone's favorite song, and that has circled back with an entirely different group of strangers without them being privy to that information.
It's really fascinating. Sometimes you have to take the extra step to look into things. So
absolutely.
We're running out of time, but I want to ask you quickly, why is it called the Gray Ghost Project?
She was nicknamed the Gray Ghost during World War II.
Really?
She was.
I had no idea. idea.
Yeah, so it's a really fun way to kind of tie back into her history, but also putting ghost in there lets you a little bit into what it is we're going to be doing.
Well, Rebecca, you have turned the skeptic into a believer. I think I'm going to have to come down to the Queen Mary now.
Anytime.
Thank you so much for being here. And for more information on the Grey Ghost Project on the Queen Mary, check out our website, kcalnews.com. Rudabeh?